Okay. Am I audible on Teams? Am I audible on Teams? Yes. So, before every class, we will chant 3 shlokas, which we will chant as the prayer verses before the commencement of every class in this series on Vishnu Sahasranamam. The first one is Sadashiva-Samarambham. The second one is Narayanam Namaskritya. And the third one will be Shuklam Bharadharam. So maybe for today's class and for a few more classes, I will chant and you repeat after me. And I'm sure that during the course, even those who are new to all these 3 prayer verses will have them by heart. I'm sure it will happen because just by mere practice, it is very easy that one gets this by heart. So we will begin the class. Please repeat after me. Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Shuklam Bharataram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Very good. So, the previous classes, we have been seeing that our Hindu Sanatana Dharma, which is otherwise called as the Vaidika Dharma, the Hindu Sanatana Dharma or Vaidika Dharma is a way of life which prescribes how to live for human beings, how to lead a human life. And the stages that have been prescribed are: stage number 1 is Ishvara Aradhanam, worshipping Ishvara. We saw that this is in the form of Ishta Devata worship. I worship Ishvara in the form I am comfortable with, in the form that I like, in the name and form I like. And we have a whole variety of names and forms that we may choose from for our worship. This is stage number 1. Stage number 2 is Ishvara Jnanam, knowledge of Ishvara. When we say Ishvara, in the Vedic term, it simply means God or the Almighty. Though in common parlance it refers to Lord Shiva, we refer to Lord Shiva in common parlance. As per the Veda, the word Ishvara simply means God or Almighty. So here in the classes, when we use the word Ishvara, it is similar to the usage in the Vedas. So we refer to the Almighty. So stage 1 is Ishvara Aradhanam and stage 2 is Ishvara Jnanam. So this is why we say stage, 2 stages, because this is not a choice. There is no choice that one has in choosing between Ishvara Aradhanam and Ishvara Jnanam. It is not Aradhanam or Jnanam. It is Aradhanam, thereafter Jnanam. One cannot reverse the order. Reversing the order, you don't get the benefit out of it. So step 1, one must have practiced Ishvara Aradhanam, and then you come to step 2. You don't, when it comes to knowledge, you don't say, I practice knowledge. You study, right? So I study, I learn, and then I gain the knowledge. I understand what is Ishvara. So when it comes to knowledge, never say, I practice it. Because we are normally used to our science that we study in school, physics, chemistry, biology, and all other sciences, where we have a theory class which is followed by a practicals class. You go to the laboratory and you do practicals. So our understanding from childhood is that you learn something in the class and thereafter you put something to practice. This is not the case with Ishvara Jnanam. One may have the question how it is not the same. That we will see in the course of this series. You don't have to worry about that. You will have answers for all questions. So, why do we say that the order of stage 1 and 2 should not be reversed? It is because stage 1 Ishvara Aradhanam prepares a person with the qualifications that are required to go to stage 2. And we saw that Ishvara Aradhanam, in the previous class, we saw that the Ishvara Aradhanam gives 3 kinds of qualifications. For remembering easily, for the sake of memory, we can remember this as 3 S's. S. Okay, you have 3 S's. One is a sincere desire to study, to know. One develops a sincere desire to know what Ishvara is. How do you say that? That is how. There are so many people today at this time listening to this class live, and there are people who have come here directly, and it is a very early Monday morning in Chennai here. So Ishvara Aradhanam qualifies a person with a sincere desire to know. This is the first qualification. The second thing that Ishvara Aradhanam gives you is a spiritual guide, a teacher, a spiritual teacher who will help you study, help you learn, help you understand the nature of Ishvara. And the third thing that Ishvara Aradhanam gives you is subtle intellect. A subtle intellect wherein one is able to receive this Shastram completely and with clarity. Therefore, the three S's are sincere desire, spiritual guide, and a subtle intellect. Sincere desire, spiritual guide, and a subtle intellect. With these three qualifications, where one takes to the sadhana of Ishvara Jnanam, where one goes to the teacher to gain the knowledge of Ishvara, one surely, definitely gets the knowledge that he has to get. And this completes the purpose of human life. Alright, now, why are we seeing all this for Vishnu Sahasranamam? Because this text of Vishnu Sahasranamam gives you the knowledge of Ishvara. It gives you Ishvara Jnanam. So you all have come to this second stage in your life, which means that your first stage has given you the fruits. Right? Because of your sincerity, your devotion in the first stage, now you have had the first S, a sincere desire to know Ishvara, and you have come in search of a spiritual guide, and you hope and pray for a subtle intellect to grasp the knowledge that is given here. And that is why before every class we worship Ishvara with a dhyana shloka, and we chanted the three of them, the three dhyana shlokas, just before we began this class as well. Okay, so Vishnu Sahasranamam gives you Ishvara Jnanam. Ishvara Jnanam means the answer for the question of who is God or what is God. And our scriptures say that Ishvara is Jagat Karanam. Jagat Karanam means, Jagat means universe, Karanam means the cause. Jagat Karanam means the cause of this universe. If we take the science today, all the scientists are trying very, very hard to find that one substance which is the cause of everything. Right? This is what the scientists are trying to arrive at. That one thing from which the entire universe came into existence. They call it as TOE, theory of everything. And our rishis have already given that knowledge millions of years ago in the Vedas, and all other Vedic scriptures are there for all of us to understand this. Now, what do those scriptures, our scriptures, say about Ishvara Jnanam? When we say Jagat Karanam, what does our scripture say? Our scriptures say that you take any product will have two causes. there are two causes that every product that you see have. One is the intelligent cause, and the other is the material cause. Take, for example, a pot. Pot is an example. It's a traditional example, Vedic example. This example is given by Chandogya Upanishad, Shashtodhyaya, the 6th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad. And since then, since time immemorial, so the pot has been pot, gold jewelry, all these things are considered to be traditional examples, and we cannot do away with the traditional example. We take the traditional example. So you take the pot. This is a product which has two causes. One is the intelligent cause. The intelligent cause of a pot is the potter. He has a skill, he has the knowledge as how much water he has to mix in the clay, make it into a paste, and in what speed the wheel has to go round, and then where he has to place the clay and how he has to hold, and when he has to shape the pot to bring it like this, right? If we do it, we will only be spoiling it. He knows exactly how to do. So he is the intelligent principle behind this pot. And the other cause, the second cause of this pot is the material. The material is the clay. So similarly, Veda says this entire universe, this Jagat, has two causes. One is the intelligent cause, and the other is the material cause. I keep repeating this again and again just to ensure that these things get into our mind and we get comfortable with this before we move on to the next stage. Therefore, Ishvara, who is, we saw Bhaga, Bhagavan is the one with the 6 faculties of Bhaga, one with Samagram Jnanam, Samagram Viryam, all that we saw. So, the one who is Samagram Jnanam, Samagram means in its full measure, total knowledge. The one who is the total knowledge is the intelligent cause of this totality, this Jagat. We call him as Srishti Karta. Just like how the potter is the Gata Karta, Ishvara is the Srishti Karta from the standpoint of the intelligent cause of this Jagat. And now what is the material cause? From where did all the materials that we see and experience as this universe come from? Where did Bhagavan take all these materials from to make this wonderful Jagat that we are enjoying? The Vedas are very, very clear that he himself, Ishvara himself, is the material cause of this Jagat. So, the material cause also is Ishvara. Therefore, from the standpoint of the material cause of this Jagat, Ishvara is called Srishti Karanam. From the standpoint of the intelligent cause of this Jagat, he is called Srishti Karta. From the standpoint of the material cause of this Jagat, he is called Srishti Karanam. So, when we ask the question, who is the cause of this universe, we refer to, by asking who, we refer to the intelligent principle, the intelligent cause, and by asking what is the cause of this universe, we are by what? It refers to the material cause. And Ishvara is both the intelligent and the material cause of this universe. In Sanskritam, intelligent cause is called Nimitta Karanam, and material cause is called Upadana Karanam. Intelligent cause is called Nimitta, Nimitta Karanam, and material cause is called Upadana Karanam. Where Ishvara is both the intelligent and material cause, normally every product in this Jagat has the intelligent and material causes which are different from each other. The potter is not the clay is not the potter, the goldsmith is not the gold. Right? For this product, the bangle is the product. The intelligent cause is goldsmith and the material cause is gold. Gold is not goldsmith and the goldsmith is not gold. Whereas in the case of this universe, Vedas say that Ishvara is both the intelligent and material cause. This is very important to understand. Therefore, he is called Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. Abhinna. Bhinna means separate. Abhinna means it is the same. There are no two things that are the cause. It is one. Ishvara is both the Nimitta and Upadana Karanam. So, this introduction that we have been seeing till now will help us in our understanding of Vishnu Sahasranamam. Therefore, this is very important. And our Shastram takes us step by step. We go step by step to understand what our Shastras are trying to say. Now, Karanam, when we say the cause, we refer to the cause, and the product we call as Karyam. Karana and Karya have a relationship. There are certain features that are specific to Karanam, and there are certain features which go with the Karyam, with the product. It is important to understand the features of Karanam and the features of Karyam so that we understand the relationship between the Karanam, the cause, and the Karyam, the product. This is also important because while we go through the namas of Ishvara in Vishnu Sahasranamam, I am sure these introduction classes will help you understand each and every nama very well. Alright, now we go with the same example, the clay and the pot. You can take the gold and the jewelry, or you can take wood and furniture. You can take anything that you see before you. If you have a vessel, the steel and the vessel, so anything that you can take in front of you. Traditionally, clay and the pot. So the clay is the cause and the pot is the product. Clay is Karanam and pot is Karyam. Now let us understand the features of Karana and Karya. Now with clay, you have 1, 2, 3. You have a tumbler, you have a big pot, you have a smaller pot, and you have a plate, you have a whole basket of earthenware. Okay? So now, with clay, a potter makes So many items. You go to the shop, there is a whole warehouse of earthenware, right? Now, how many items are there? If the question is how many items, you go on counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you say there are about 10, 12 items here. You go to the shop, he will have many more. So, the feature of the product is, it is many in number. Okay, when we refer to the karyam, the first feature is, it is anekam. It is many in number. What about the karanam? How many clay does he have? Even in English, when you ask, when it comes to the product, you ask how many, right? Because it is countable. It is a countable noun, right? When you say many. When it comes to clay, you don't ask how many clay, right? It is wrong. It is a wrong usage of the language, because you can't count the clay. Why? It is just one whole lump of clay that is made into several products like this. So, the feature of karanam is, it is one clay which has got manifested into, hold on, okay, let's come back. Okay, so it is one clay that has got manifested into so many products. So the first feature of karanam is, it is ekam. Ekam is, it is singular, it is one cause, and the feature of karyam is, it is plural, it is many in number. So karanam is ekam and karyam is anekam. I am sure in the due course you will also grasp some words in Sanskrit, okay? It happens. You don't have to take a separate effort for it. You will learn it effortlessly. Not very difficult. Now the second feature. Karana, you take the pot. The essence of the pot is clay. Wherever you touch it is clay. And what makes the pot is clay. There is nothing but clay in this pot. In fact, there is no pot separate from clay. Therefore, we say that clay is the sara, is the essence of the pot. This is the second feature. Karanam is saram and karyam is asaram. The pot is only a form, a name and a form, and it has a utility, right? Because you can bring water in this, maybe you can make curd in this. You can't do that with just a lump of clay. That doesn't give you any utility. So, a form has a name. When given a form, it has a name and it has a utility. But it is not an entity by itself, because the essence of the product is the cause, and there is no product separate from the cause. The pot is not separate from the cause, clay. It is clay that is in the form of the pot. Therefore, cause is saram and the product is asaram. So the first feature is, cause is ekam and the product is anekam. The second feature is, cause is saram and the product is asaram. There is no particular location where is clay located in this pot? It is everywhere. Everywhere. In fact, what I touch and hold and feel is nothing but clay. Clay and nothing but clay. Okay, so that is the essence of the pot. Next, the third feature. The third feature is, karanam is nityam and karyam is anityam. What do you mean by this? Nityam is with reference to time. Clay was before the existence of this pot, clay is during the existence of this pot, and even after the pot breaks, clay will be. So, Karana continues to exist in all three tenses, while pot came in time. There was no pot before the existence of the pot, and there is no pot after it breaks. So, Karanam, that is the third feature. Karanam is Nityam. It is always existent. And Karyam is Anityam. It is fleeting. It is only present. It is only there in the present tense. It was not there in the past and will not be there in the future. The fourth feature and the last feature. You can add many features, but we will principally go with 4 features, which we will remember. It's easy to remember that way. You can add many more. The fourth feature is Karanam Satyam, Karyam Mithya. What does this mean? The pot has got no existence of its own, meaning you cannot remove the pot separately, show the pot, you say that this is the pot and this is the clay. You can't separate the pot from this. You cannot separate the pot from clay, right? Because the pot does not have an independent existence of its own. Its existence is dependent upon the existence of clay. This dependent existence is called Mithya. This is the fourth feature of the product. While clay is not dependent on the pot for its existence. That is called Satyam, independent existence. Therefore, the 4 features are: point number 1, cause is Ekam and product is Anekam. Point number 2, cause is Saram and product is Asaram. Point number 3, cause is Nityam and product is Anityam. Point number 4, cause is Satyam and product is Mithya. Therefore, the features of cause are Eka, Sara, Nitya, Satyam, and the features of the product are Aneka, Asara, Anitya, Mithya. So this one has to remember, and this is the relationship between cause and the product. Okay, Ekasara Nitya Satyam, Aneka Asara Anitya Mithya Vastu is Karyam. Very good. Now, where one is asking, we go to the pot back again. Now, where is the pot? If the question is, where is this pot? Is this pot upon the clay? We go to the next stage of understanding. Okay? Is this pot upon the clay? When do you use the word upon? When you say the bird is upon the tree. Okay? So like that, do we say that the pot is upon the clay? No, we don't say that. So, is the pot on the clay? No. Is the pot in the clay? No. Is the pot off the clay? No. Whatever you use, whatever preposition you use, upon, on, in, off, anything that you use, it only implies that there are two entities, right? When you say the book is on the table, there are two things. One is the book and the other is the table, right? So whatever preposition you use, it only means and implies that there are two entities, whereas there are no two entities here, right? It is one entity that we see and experience. Therefore, it is the clay itself which is in the form of the pot. It is the cause itself which is in the form of the product. So are you saying, by saying mithya as one of the feature of the product, are you saying that the product is non-existent? Are you saying that it does not exist at all? No, we don't say that it is non-existent. We only say that it does not have an existence of its own. It has an existence which is dependent upon the cause. It is seemingly existent. The pot is seemingly existent. What you see, feel, touch, the sound, everything is of the material, right? It is of the clay. So everything here that you experience is nothing but the cause itself, and it is the cause itself which is in different names and forms. It is the same clay which is a tumbler here and which is in the form of a pot here. All right. So now why are we elaborating on this example so much? Whatever we see and experience in this Jagat, Veda says, where Ishvara is the material cause of this Jagat, then you understand that whatever you see and you experience is nothing but Ishvara himself in every different name and form. Just like how you experience the clay as a pot, you experience the clay as a tumbler, you experience the clay as a bigger pot, you experience the clay as a plate. Now clay could be boring, okay? You go to a jewelry shop, you experience the gold as a bangle, you experience a gold as a big necklace, you experience gold as an anklet, you experience gold in different variety of ornaments. You may have a name and a form for different ornaments, but what you ultimately experience or what is there is nothing but gold. What you experience and see is gold in different names and forms. Therefore, in the same way, it is Ishvara, the maker, who is also the material of this Jagat. So the glory of gold is seen in the jewelry shop, where it has manifested into different names and forms. Because of the names and forms, a lump of gold cannot be worn, whereas a gold in the form of an ornament is worn, and based on which form it is, it has a place to wear, right? Earring or bangle or necklace or whatever. Similarly, this entire Jagat is the glory of Ishvara, and all the names and forms are his name and form. And there are how many names and forms? Infinite. So that is why we say Sahasranamam. Doesn't mean that he has only 1,000 names. 1,000 is just an indicative. It literally means uncountable. Yeah? In Tamil, when we commonly talk, we say, "Unakku 1000 தடவை சொன்னேன்." meaning I told you 1,000 times, doesn't mean that we sit and count how many times I told you. Don't do it. It means I told you so many times, innumerable times. So similarly, the word Sahasra in Sanskrit can be taken to mean 1,000. It can also be taken to mean uncountable. However, we have 1,000 names listed in the shlokas, but in reality, every form, every name that we come across is the name and form of Ishvara. This is the knowledge that Vishnu Sahasranama gives. And when we analyze the names in this wonderful text, Vishnu Sahasranama, now we have three categories. We have these names. These namas can be categorized into three. There are namas which reveal the essential nature of Ishvara. What is his essential nature? Ekasara Nitya Satya, the cause of this Jagat. Okay, so there are names which reveal him as in his essential nature. Okay, and there are words revealing Ishvara as more specifically as the cause, like the father principle, the mother principle. Okay, so the first, I'm sorry, I think I mixed up both. The first category is the category of namas which refer to him as the Satyam, the absolute reality. And the second category is the set of namas that reveal him as the cause of this Jagat. The father principle, the mother principle, the nimitta karana, the upadana karana, the intelligent cause, the material cause. So it is he himself who has manifested as this Jagat. So these are the first two categories. And there is a third category of namas which indicate the manifested form of Ishvara, the avatara, one who has taken a form keeping Maya in his control, under his control. So these are the basic three categories in which one can categorize all the 1,000 namas of Sahasranama. These three sets constitute the Sahasranama, and any Sahasranama you take, not merely Vishnu Sahasranama, there are many Sahasranamas. You have Lakshmi Sahasranama, you have Shiva Sahasranama, you have Ganesha Sahasranama, you have Dakshinamurti Sahasranama, you have Subramanya Sahasranama. Really? Are there so many Sahasranamas? I never knew. Yes, there are so many Sahasranamas, but when you when we talk of Sahasranama, two Sahasranamas are very popular. One is Vishnu Sahasranama and the other is Lalita Sahasranama. However, when we refer to Lalita Sahasranama, we mention the word Lalita. We say Lalita Sahasranama. But when it comes to Vishnu Sahasranama, it is so popular that you don't even have to take the name Vishnu. Just the word Sahasranama would mean and imply Vishnu Sahasranama. Any other Sahasranama, you have to mention the name of the deity. Alright, so the first two categories of names, one referring to Ishvara in his absolute reality status, we will see what it is, we have not seen that. The second category which refers to Ishvara as the cause of this Jagat. These two sets of categories of namas are common to all the Sahasranamas. Any Sahasranama you take, the words, there are certain namas which would be very similar. Even between Vishnu Sahasranama and Lalita Sahasranama, only the gender will differ in these two categories. Because Vishnu is masculine and Lalita is feminine. Therefore, only the gender will differ, and in these two categories, it will be the same. Thoda idhar udhar karte hain, right? The order could be different, this way and that way. And the third category is specific to the deity. When you take Vishnu Sahasranama, it will be more with reference to the avatara of Vishnu's, the names that he has been given in the Puranas in various avataras. If you take Lalita Sahasranama, similarly with reference to the avatara of the Devi and with respect to other deities. So what will change in every Vishnu Sahasranama is the category 3 set of names. Okay. Now, Vishnu Sahasranama, where does it appear? Who compiled it? And what are the details about the text itself? Vishnu Sahasranama appears in the 149th Adhyaya of Anushasana Parva of Mahabharata. And the tradition holds that it was first composed by Sanaka Maharishi and was taught. It was given by Sanaka Maharishi to Bhishma. And in the Anushasana Parva of Mahabharata, Bhishma gave it to the Pandavas in the presence of Krishna. The Upadesha was given by Bhishma to Yudhishthira. And as per the tradition, any Upadesha is to be given, must be given only when asked for. So, Yudhishthira, as per the story, Yudhishthira asks Bhishma a set of 6 questions. We have that while chanting one of the shlokas in the Purva Bhaga itself. Yudhishthira uvacha kimekam daivatam loke kimva pekam parayanam. It's a set of 6 questions where Yudhishthira asks, who is the supreme God, who is the refuge of all, and by worshipping whom one gains the greatest thing and the ultimate end, And the answer that Bhishma gives for this question is the Vishnu Sahasranama. Therefore, the importance of this Vishnu Sahasranama is more because we see that Adi Shankaracharya has given an elaborate commentary for the Sahasranama. And there is a story, the legend goes like this, where Adi Shankara requested one of his disciples to get him Taittiriya Upanishad, the manuscript on Taittiriya Upanishad, so that he begins writing his commentaries on Veda and Upanishads, the Vedanta part of the Vedas. So he requested one of his disciples to bring Taittiriya Upanishad because he wanted to begin his commentaries from Taittiriya. And his disciple got him a set of manuscripts which was Vishnu Sahasranama. And he gave it back and he said, I asked you for Taittiriya Upanishad, go and get me Taittiriya Upanishad. So the disciple went back and he came back with a set of manuscripts which was again Vishnu Sahasranama. And this happened a couple of times, a few more times, and when he felt, Adi Shankaracharya felt that this is the message from the Almighty that I begin my work on contributing my commentaries from Vishnu Sahasranama. So this was the text he started writing his commentaries on. This was the first text wherein Adi Shankaracharya gave his commentary. So traditionally, these Purva Bhaga verses starting from Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu is chanted. We call them Purva Bhaga because from Vishvam Vishnur Vashatkaro onwards, it is the proper Vishnu Sahasranama. And there are a few verses that are chanted, about 29 shlokas that are chanted before Vishvam Vishnur Vashatkaraha. So that is called, that we refer to as the Purva Bhaga. And of these 29 shlokas that are chanted before the proper Vishnu Sahasranama, from the 6th shloka until the 18th shloka, which is something like 13 shlokas out of 29 shlokas are from Mahabharata itself. So you have 29 shlokas in Purva Bhaga, you have 108 shlokas starting from Vishvam Vishnur Vashatkaro until Vanamali, the shloka beginning Vanamali. So there are 108 shlokas, which is the main Vishnu Sahasranama, and then you have another 33 shlokas as Palashruti. So of the 108, 107 are from Mahabharata. Excepting Vanamali, all the 107 are from Mahabharata. And in the Palashruti, out of the 33, about 22 of them are from Mahabharata. So, what we chant as Vishnu Sahasranama today is 29 plus 108 plus 33, which is 170 shlokas. And of this 170, 13 plus 107 plus 22, about 142 shlokas are from Mahabharata. The others were contributions by later Acharyas, which has fallen into the tradition. And in the 107 shlokas which are from Mahabharata, Anushasana Parva, 149th Adhyaya, Shloka 14 to 120, which is from Vishvam Vishnur Vashatkara, 107 shlokas. So, this 107 present the 1000 names of Ishvara. And in the tradition, while we chant Vishnu Sahasranama, we have a Purva Bhaga of 33 shlokas. And this Purva Bhaga, the first 5 shlokas of this Purva Bhaga are invocatory shlokas. They are prayer shlokas, which are not from Mahabharata. And the structure, verse 6 onwards, Shloka 6 onwards, it is from Mahabharata, Anushasana Parva. Okay, it begins from Vaishampayana Uvacha, and that is the shloka from where Adi Shankaracharya has written his commentary. And then the answer to it starts from the 9th shloka until the 18th shloka. Bhishma Uvacha, and that part is the answer, where Bhishma starts giving his answer, and then you have the main portion of Vishnu Sahasranama, which is Mahabharata Anushasana Parva, 149th Adhyaya, 14 to 120. Okay. Now, first we begin with the prayer verses, the invocatory verses. The Purva Bhaga, which has 29 shlokas, and the first 5 shlokas we saw are the invocatory shlokas. And the structure of the first 5 shlokas is that the first shloka we always dedicate to Ganesha. So the first shloka is a prayer on Ganesha. The second and the third shlokas are prayer verses on the Rishi because of whom we have Vishnu Sahasranama today. That is Rishi Vedavyasa. So it is an invocatory verse. The 2 are invocatory verses. Shloka 2 and 3 are invocatory verses on Vedavyasa. 4 and 5 are invocatory verses on the deity of this text, which is Shri Mahavishnu. Alright, so we move on to the first invocatory shloka. Please chant after me. This is just to, I know that most of you know this shloka, still this is just to benefit those who are not introduced to the shloka. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashi Varnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. This is the shloka that we chant before undertaking any work. In fact, before starting every puja, this is the first shloka that is chanted with this action, right? You start doing this and you say Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum, any puja. So this is a prayer verse that invokes the grace of Lord Ganesha. Lord Ganesha is worshipped here as the Vigna Raja, the one who is the creator of obstacles, and also as Vigna Hara, the one who is the remover of obstacles. So he is worshipped as both the giver of obstacles and the remover of obstacle. Now, why should I pray to him to remove obstacles? Why do we invoke Ganesha as Vignaraja and Vignahara? Every action that we do has two results. One result is the result that we can see and experience. It is called Drishta Palan. That is an object of all our senses. Okay, Drishta means literally seeing, but it means which can be objectified or known through our senses. So Drishta Palan is the physical result, the gross result that we experience. The second type of result is called Adrishta Palan. Adrishta, it means invisible. So first is the visible result. Second type of result is the invisible result. Though in Tamil, in common parlance, we use the word Adishtam to refer to luck. In Sanskritam, Adrishta means invisible. This Adrishta Phala is again of two categories. Adrishta is of two categories. One is Punya and the other is Papa. Now we must understand that there are no translation in English for the words Punya and Papa. One may say that Papa has a translation in English as sin, right? No. According to their culture, sin, they call sin as the original sin which was committed by Adam and Eve, and therefore you are stuck with that. No. That is not the translation for Papa. Papa is Papa. Let us not translate it as sin. Adrishta, Drishta is enjoyed then and there, while Adrishta Palan is not enjoyed at that time of performing the action. It is enjoyed at a later time. It can be some time later, some months later, some years later. It can even be in the other or next janmas, next births. Every human being is bestowed with the privilege of free will. And this free will, with this free will, one can use his free will to follow, to abide by dharma, thereby earn punya, and that punya manifests as sukha. Any comfort, any sukha that we experience in our life is a manifestation of the punya that we have earned earlier. That punya, the invisible, which we earned and accumulated through past deeds, good deeds, noble deeds, manifest as comfortable, favorable occasions in the present. In the same way, where one abuses his free will, he earns papa. Where he does not abide by dharma, he earns papa, which later manifests, because it is adrishta, the experience comes later, therefore it manifests as dukkha, uncomfortable situations. This is called law of karma, where you do an action and the action gives you a result. Favorable or unfavorable. It manifests as favorable situation and unfavorable situation. And all these karmas, one must understand that the results one cannot experience all the results of all his actions in the same birth, because every result requires a certain environment for it to fructify, every invisible result. Therefore, we may have a question as to why am I given to a particular situation in this life? What mistake did I do? I never did any grave mistake in my life right from my birth. I have been a very noble person, doing good things, thinking good things. I have never entertained bad thoughts. I have never done anything bad to people. And why am I given to such a difficult situation in my life? The answer is the law of karma, because our deeds produce adrishta palan, which is not experienced while doing the karma and is experienced later and is capable of being carried forward to future births. And that is precisely why our past deeds, meaning our deeds in the past janmas, past manushya janmas, which we have accumulated, fructify when the said environment happens. Just like how a seed grows only in a particular climatic soil condition, similarly a karma fructifies only in a given condition, and that condition might have happened in this birth, and that is why we are given to experience a particular punya palan or papa palan. Alright, now the results of actions are therefore according to the law of karma, and one must understand, the astika, one who is an astika must understand that law of karma is nothing but manifestation of Ishvara himself. Because law of karma, is it part of this jagat or is it outside of this jagat? It is part of this jagat. And we just saw that where this jagat is the product and the cause being Ishvara, and what kind of cause is he? He is the abhinna nimitta upadana karana. He is the one cause and who is the essence of this jagat. Therefore, the law of karma is another manifestation of Ishvara himself. He is the manifestation, his manifestation is the law of karma, and where he is seen as the giver of the result, he is called karma pala datha, the giver of the result of my own action. And he gives the result as, where he gives the result of my papa palan, he gives them as obstacles in my way. So he is seen as the deity who presides over the obstacles, and we call him Vigna Raja, the deity who presides over the obstacles. Vigna Raja means Vignanam Raja, the one who throws the obstacle, the thrower of the obstacle. I'm sorry. So we invoke the thrower of the obstacle himself to remove the obstacle. We worship the thrower of the obstacle himself to show mercy on us and remove the obstacle. And therefore, Ganesha, who is the deity who we worship as the thrower of the obstacle, we worship him, we invoke him as the remover of the obstacle, the Vigna Haraha, the remover of all my papas which are out of my commissions in the past, which may be known to me or which may be unknown to me. We will see more of this and the meaning of the words in this shloka in the next class. So we complete the class with the prayer verse Purnamadaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So in the next class, we will begin from where we left, which is the meaning for Shuklam Bharadaram, and we will move on with the next prayer verses. And once we complete the Purva Bhaga, we will get on to the main text of Vishnu Sahasranamam. Hari Om.